Okie dokie, boys and girls, I just got done with an online lesson for calisthenics, and the guy had one simple question. How do I build endurance? Where do I start? How do I increase the reps? And how many reps should I do? And well, the answer is very simple. It doesn't matter how many reps you do to start out with, because we are all, starting from a different starting point. Some people can do hundreds of push-ups already, others can't even do a single push-up. And so what matters is not where you start with how many reps, but where you are going. So what you want to do is you want to kind of take how many reps you are able to do comfortably in a training or in a week, and then you want to increase it a little bit for the next week. So, with my example, you're watching a training right here where I did 48 sets of 25. That's 1,200 reps, and throughout the week I do push-ups as well, and so I end up with about 2,500 reps. And that sounds crazy, but if you look at last week I did 2,200 reps, so I just increased it by around 10%, right? And the same applies for when you are a beginner. So let's say that you can do 10 push-ups. Well, perhaps you do 10 sets of 5 in one workout. Now you've done 50 push-ups, and you do that twice a week. Well, guess what? That's 100 push-ups in a week. If next week you can do 110 in total, or you can do 55 reps in your training, well, then you're progressing. And if you repeat it enough, then you will notice that, well, you're getting stronger. And at some point, you get to a point where you're increasing, and now you're perhaps doing a couple hundred reps in a training, or, you're doing, let's say, 500 to 1,000 reps every week, and you're happy with the amount of reps you're doing. Well, then you can start increasing difficulty as well. But the point here is that your starting point really doesn't matter. You could be, starting with 5 sets or 3 sets or even 1 set of knee push-ups. If yesterday you did 0 push-ups, then today doing 1 push-up is an improvement. If you're not able to do a push-up yet, well, then starting with knee push-ups is gonna be an improvement. And as long as you then, in the endurance context, focus on increasing those reps gradually, perhaps think about 10% every week, well, then you're gonna make gains. In the beginning, you might even be able to increase it more quickly. And once you're advanced, your improvements might be less than 10% every week. But, again, it doesn't matter where you start. It just matters that you stay consistent and track your progress. So in the case of endurance, that's total volume. Track how many reps you're doing on a daily or a weekly or a monthly basis. And as long as that's increasing, you're getting more endurance, you're getting stronger. So that's it. I'll see you tomorrow for another video.